I'm still throwing. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people. Your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez. With me tonight, it's Chris, the Statsman Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey. The New York Knicks have an effective field goal percentage of .592 compared to the Spurs at .543, commanding effective field goal percentage 0.045 percentage points higher than the regular season. This team is playing very good.
That's what happens when you play half those games.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. Just get free layups half the games.
Yeah. He goes the full seven. It's the Lawn Boss, Jordan McCroskey. Get that, Joe.
Lucky sevens.
Lucky sevens.
Siete.
All right, we are here. We're going to touch quickly on Game 7. Spurs beating OKC and making it to the first NBA Finals in 8 years for them. Is that what that was?
Is that it?
It hasn't been long. Yeah. 14? Or was it 14?
Was like this will be 8th straight.
12 years.
Different champ.
12 years. Oh, yeah, you're right. 8 straight different champ. I'm getting my numbers crossed. Honestly, it feels like the Spurs were in the finals just yesterday. I remember me and Chris doing a podcast, a pre-podcast. And then we're
Ellen's. Not Ellen's.
Yeah.
Ellen's.
Yeah, I think it was Ellen's.
Didn't work until you brought me in. That's all right.
It did not work until we had the Lawn Boss. We needed him. We needed our third guy. We needed to go to Miami, and we needed a third person. But we also have some finals preview, and then we're going to talk finals preview. That's what I should say. We're going to talk finals preview. Spurs, Knicks, a redo of the 1999 finals. Eerie, kind of Tim Duncan getting his start, and then Wemby potentially getting his start / or the Knicks breaking the curse. But I guess we'll start here quickly with Game 7. Chris, what did you think of Game 7? The Spurs getting it done in OKC, pretty wild. Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Looking back at the game, it wasn't a very well played game for the Spurs. Wembanyama in the fourth quarter had one field goal. He made a 3-pointer, and he had 5 fouls for like nearly 8 minutes. You know, the Thunder lost this game more than anything. I felt like, but I mean, the defense from the Spurs, because of Wembanyama, because even Chet still didn't want to attack him for some reason. I think that dunk in the beginning of the game kind of rattled him, and maybe he was concussed. I don't know if that'll ever come out, but
dunked that so hard.
There could have been something about that. Alex Caruso, a tale of two playoff series halves.
Yeah,
right. Like he finally had a bad game from a shooting standpoint. 1 of 6. Dude played 38 minutes, which I didn't even look up to confirm. I'm just going to say that's the most minutes he's ever played in his career, because that's unbelievable. And in a loss,
I think he's winning the caveats at it. It's the most minutes he's ever played in a career in a loss in the playoffs.
There you go.
For the Thunder.
There you go. For the Thunder. So definitely going to check out. Don't check that.
The Thunder, though, hats off to the Thunder with the fact that Jared McCain was the second option, and they almost still got it done with them.
Yeah. A lot of injuries for the Thunder. Joey, you talked about the Chet's disappearing act in our group chat, like saying, 2 shots is just unacceptable. But what did you think of Game 7?
Yeah, I said it was criminal.
Criminal, that's what you said. Yeah.
And the head coach took a little bit of responsibility for that, but he kind of deflected too at the same time. He looked like I don't know. What's a kind way of saying a female part? Yeah, he looked scared. That dunk really seemed to put him in his place. It was interesting because, Chris, you said, this wasn't really like a great game. And I think it was both of them kind of felt the nerves, and you wouldn't have thought the Thunder should have had a lot of nerves, but I think they felt the pressure of, we're down to key role players in this. The Spurs are our kryptonite. They have been. Everybody's talking about it. This is back and forth. It seemed like they kind of felt the pressure. The Spurs, I don't know if they felt the pressure, but they felt the youth maybe a little bit more than they've shown in a few other games throughout the playoffs so far. But yeah, Wemby looking like a shell of himself for 8 minutes because of the 5 fouls was weird. But the other guy stepped up, Dylan Harper. That 3-pointer, that like line drive 3-pointer over Shea was pretty special. That might be fun and kind of
10 from threes in that fourth.
Yeah, that might be folklore type stuff to remember for someone like him. But yeah, they didn't need Wemby, I guess, for 8 minutes because he one basket and everybody else managed to do it, and they extended the lead and ended up, getting it done.
They got
the only block that happened for the Spurs was Cornette. So I
played a minute and a half and got one block and went back to the bench.
That was definitely a moment. They talked on the broadcast and then on some podcasts I was listening to that was a sort of a pivotal moment in that game because it was a 4-point swing. It could have gone to from a 4-point lead, but instead went up to an 8. So it's just that moment. And that was, I think I texted you guys in the group. That was right after Wemby's 5th foul. I said this could be potentially a momentum changer, and then the Cornette just kind of denied it, figuratively and literally and figuratively. They're denied that OKC run. So, yeah, I was surprised though, man. I really thought OKC would have that sort of championship mentality in Game 7 and kind of prove that they were, the best team all season. So to see San Antonio just not really be rattled all that much, come in, start hot again, like they had started the last couple of games. Hats off to them, man. Great win. And then we got to get to the not OKC, but the NYC part of this. So New York Knicks swept Cleveland, like we know. Been waiting. How do you guys feel about this matchup? Just early vibes matchups. Is this what you guys were hoping for? At least once we knew kind of who the conference finals teams were. Joe, are you excited for Spurs Knicks? What are you thinking?
I am excited Spurs Knicks. I think I kind of like the Knicks players. I don't know. I haven't necessarily decided who I want to win yet. I've come around on the Spurs a little bit. The more watched them for 7 games, and obviously beating the Thunder made them a little bit more likable. But I think I've realized that like the other players on the Spurs are extremely likable.
Yeah.
Harper's a fun watch. Castle, Vassell, like they're all kind of fun. Champagny, like they're just kind of free and they're kind of fun and just it seems like a not like careless basketball, but just like they play like they're it's like unorganized but organized. Like it's just kind of like this free flowing thing, and it's kind of fun to watch. I think like watching them win without Wemby being amazing was good for them. I think it also gave them kind of the belief that they could do it, that if something goes down, they lost like 2 or 3 games 2 games for sure where Wemby got out, the game against the Timberwolves and Naz Reid game, and then the concussion game against Portland. So having him be kind of out of the game per se for 8 minutes and then being able to extend the lead had to be extremely good for their confidence. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I know the NBA, I'm sure, is looking forward to it, right? Yeah. They got their biggest market and then they got their future, face of the league here. So this is a win-win for them. They don't have to answer questions about the Spurs or the Thunder flopping for fouls for the finals, which is probably hopeful for them. This is like 2 grindy, hard-nosed, well-coached teams with a lot of history. So I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it.
Chris,
best case scenario by far. My goodness, we were so close to disaster, guys. Last 2 weeks, I wasn't very happy with. Like, I'm gonna have to watch the Thunder again in the finals. Like this is some bullshit. This team is just really annoying. And now the Thunder lost, and they're a little more likable. They're still not a likable team. A little bit more. They needed to get their teeth knocked in a little bit. The inverse with the Knicks being the highest effective field goal percentage is the Spurs have the best defensive effective field goal percentage at 47.8%. So it'll be fun to see these teams clash in the best way. The Knicks, this is the NBA Cup matchup, guys.
Yeah, that's what
first time ever.
Yeah, amazing. First time ever.
And I mean, and the other crazy thing, Duncan's first title was against the Knicks when he was 22 years old. So we got history repeating itself there. I love it. This was the best case scenario. I could not be more excited to see this. I wanted the Spurs last round. I'm all off of them. You know, I haven't forgotten about Wemby elbowing Nas Reed in the face and everyone just being like, "Oh yeah, Wemby, I can't." Finally, it's like, I'm taking crazy pills here. So I'm off the Spurs. Let's go Knicks.
So you've chosen a side. You're going with Chalamet and the rest of the celebs.
Chalamet. Yeah, I gotta go see Marty Supreme. I don't know what other Chalamet have I not.
I think it's I've seen maybe been a Dune. Have been a big Dune guy. I don't know. Willy Wonka. Maybe they put that one.
I didn't like Wonka.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later, but
off pod.
Joey's never seen off pod.
Joey, who do you think is going to be an X factor for for both teams going into this series? I think this potentially could be a long series. So, like we saw in the conference finals, at least on the Western Conference side, guys stepping up, Caruso, whoever else stepping up in those moments made key contributions.
I think the X factors are outside shooters for both teams, and for the Knicks specifically, it's Josh Hart. He's going to get that Wemby coverage, I think, a lot. Right, the way for the Knicks to find a way to get Wemby out of the paint is to kind of like the Thunder did with AC. It's going to be, can this guy make shots? And when he had that one game against the Cavs where he just went off, other than that, he was kind of ineffective. So if they can make the Spurs pay by having Josh Hart hitting shots, that's going to be huge for them because that'll kind of change how the Spurs have to play defense. Same thing goes for the Spurs. Champagny was like a tale of two halves of the series. First half of the series against the Thunder, he was kind of ineffective. Game 7 obviously was pretty big, hitting a lot of deep threes. So it's going to come down to that, I think. I think the rest of the matchups kind of work out pretty well. So like specifically in terms of like individual X factors, it's got to be those two guys converting on the shots that they're going to get if they're open. If they find a way to kind of play it tight and guard these guys, maybe it becomes less of an X factor. But based on what we saw the Spurs do specifically against the Thunder, something tells me Josh Hart is going to be open a lot, at least for the first 2 games at least.
Like make you hit him. Chris, what do you think is the biggest key for New York to win?
Just keep hitting your shots. Yeah, I like Joey's Josh Hart's X factor because he needs to hit his threes. He's only shooting 30% on threes, and if Wemby's going to keep him on, if he wants to keep Wemby honest, he's going to have to hit 2 early ones to kind of hit it out there. So. Yeah, it's just as simple as the open shots. Karl-Anthony Towns, to me, I'm gonna have eyes on him.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he would be
defensively. He's gonna get Wemby when Wemby comes into the paint. Offensively, can he stay out of foul trouble for more than 5 minutes? And he's huge. He's been shooting 65% effective field goal in this playoffs. OG has been 68. This team has been unconscious shooting wise, and I'm curious to see how it looks against a team that's actually pretty good defensively.
This would be interesting.
Cleveland, Atlanta, and
Philly.
Who's the other team?
Philly. You don't even remember.
Philly.
They were in the middle there, between there.
Sandwiched in there.
You're in the playoffs. I thought Embiid.
So Joey, is there any other like a key factor? We talked about X factors with the 3-point shooting, but is there like something key for the Spurs that you think, like obviously maybe it's just as simple as Wemby, but what do you think?
Yeah. For the Spurs, it's going to be controlling the pace and not letting the Knicks load up on defense. So like starting with the offense, right? Like if the Spurs are able to control the turnovers and not let them get out in transition, they obviously stand a better chance at stacking up against the offense, right? If Wemby is allowed to kind of get set and isn't caught and running up and down the floor, it obviously poses a much bigger challenge for the Knicks to score. In terms of the Knicks, though, their size advantage on the wings, I'm really interested to see because the thing that Oklahoma City struggled with a ton with the Spurs was guarding their guards that were small and fast and crafty. The Knicks have a counter to that because they have big defenders who are quick and can guard players like that. Like OG can guard Wemby.
Yeah.
and then he can go out in the paint. And he can
He's like
guard
the best offender on Wemby,
right? He
apparently.
can go out and then guard Castle if he has to, right? So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if the Knicks can find a way to kind of keep Wemby glued in one spot when the Spurs are on offense, and kind of, make him one-dimensional by being able to kind of guard man-to-man with the, and keep up with the other players. So that'll be interesting to see. And I think the Knicks are going to try and run the floor fast and try and shove it down the throats of the Spurs. But we know the Spurs can also play that game too. So it's a dangerous game, right? Because if you're not converting on transition offense and the Spurs can get back out in transition as well, this is going to be like a barn burner type thing. So for me, the Knicks got to figure out a way to guard this, almost man to man, and really like lock on, not do a lot of switching, and just kind of stay home with your man and see what you can get out of it.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are just going to have to find a way to make their crafty, plethora of guards they can throw at you not as effective as they have been throughout these playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I agree with a lot of what you guys said. For me, the specific thing I need to see is for the Spurs to kind of control their turnovers. They did turn the ball over a lot. I mean, against the Thunder's defense, which is tough. Crusoe was picking pockets, especially I'm thinking of Dylan Harper had a lot of tough turnovers there, ball handling, trying to get to the paint. I think, like to Joey, to your point, if they can control that tempo, like you're saying, run when it's their turn to run, and then sort of not allow New York to get out on transition, I think that's a big key for them. For New York, I think they really got to start looking at those O boards. If they can continue to, if they can extend possessions, one or two more shots, that can be a problem for the Spurs. And then just the defensive matchups, I think this is kind of on both sides. Can the Spurs make Cat and Brunson have to guard somebody? And that's where for me, I don't know if the Spurs have that creator right now. I know it's kind of Fox, but he's looked shaky at times in the playoffs. He had a great game 7. So if that
probably
continues,
some kind of injury, right?
Yeah, I know he's been injured, so I know that's the case. But if he can be somebody who can force, who can be a creator on offense that the Spurs really don't have right now outside of Wemby, I think that would be big. But that's any other potential.
The other thing I wanted
to
call out is the Castle, even in game 7, had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's going to bite him in the ass eventually. And I think it could really bite them here because he's kind of the other guy that's to bring the ball up besides Fox. And Fox has heard it all with Michael Bridges and OG, they're
going to be all over him. Exactly.
It's going to be interesting to see, how they counteract that. Because honestly, it's crazy. The Knicks truly have a chance here.
Yeah,
which I never thought at any point. Last week, I'm like, no chance. And finally got comments on a post. Outlandish stuff like that. But man, the Knicks really look like they could win it. It's not like the Nets.
This is going to be a good series. I don't think this is going to be a blowout either way. The question is this the Knicks' time? Is this a perfect season for them? Or is this the ascension of Wemby and the Spurs?
Yeah.
And
what do you hope for? What are you hoping for? What's the story you'd like to see come out?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I know I'm going to root for the Spurs because I like Wemby, and I got some family in Texas, so I'll be rooting there. But I would not mind seeing the Knicks win it, man. I think that would be fun. I think it'd be good for the league too, to have that sort of that streak snapped, and I think a nice one-off championship for the Knicks could be fun. Joey,
it's weird to say like Brunson could be another X factor because I don't think that's like the right definition of it.
Yeah,
I think my biggest concern is like they're either going to win because of him or they're going to lose because of him, right? They're going to win because he's going to do everything on offense. They're going to lose because the Spurs are going to do everything in their power to hunt him on defense.
Yeah.
and find a way that the Knicks can't let him hide. Right, he's not a great defender. Fortunately for them, the run through the East had players that should have done better not do very well against him. Like Maxey had a terrible series. Harden did Harden things and stuff. So like, if the Spurs are going to throw a lot of guys at him, is he going to be able to be serviceable enough on defense to, kind of help out with the rest of the group? So I do think they have a legitimate chance, right? This is not a sweep scenario. This is not a no one's going to be walking the park. I think we're going to see like two blowouts, one for each team. I think at some point there's going to be those games where like
today's NBA
is this going to happen. But I think I'm leaning Spurs. I think it's just the way that they played against Oklahoma City when they needed it the most in game 6 and 7 was just it was kind of special to see. And it almost feels like their destiny is written, as in like, we're here and this is kind of our announcement of, everybody said we were, a season or two early, but we're not early. We're ready. It's just like they shouldn't be getting what they're getting out of these guys. Like Dylan Harper shouldn't be doing what he's doing, and he looks comfortable. Like he looks confident. Like that to me is a good strong sign.
Yeah. Do you guys want to make our final predictions here? Joey, you said you're leaning Spurs. Are you ready to call it yet? Or?
I am, and I'm also doing it because I have them in the pool that Chris set up.
Yeah,
so.
you win 200. You win some money.
I think there's a tie potential though with somebody else.
It'd be you and another guy. I'm curious I don't know if there's a tiebreaker. I can ask.
I don't remember. Yeah, I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna go Spurs in 6.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. So the Spurs, every round the Spurs have won has been because of injury, right? We had Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell out. We had
because of injuries.
No,
because the Thunder win that series if they're healthy.
If Jacob's there,
if there's, I don't know how much debate there is on that.
I don't know.
And
Indiana would have won.
Obviously, the Timberwolves were hurt. I don't need to harp on that again.
Absolutely.
The Blazers, I'm pretty sure, had injuries too. They weren't going to win anyways. But the fact is, the Spurs haven't played a healthy team. The Knicks are the first healthy team they're facing, and I think it's Knicks. Give to me Knicks in 6. I think the format's 2-2-1-1-1, right?
Yes,
So
it's the same as it's been. Yep.
2-2-1-1.
That's how it always.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Knicks have 3, 4, and 6. So they win in game 6.
Man, that would be the most insane thing ever in the Garden, in the Mecca. For that reason, I have it. I mean, it's going to sound a little crazy, but I have Spurs in 5. But I think it's mostly because I think the Spurs. I think the Spurs are going to win, and I think if they win, they can't win. They're not going to win in the Garden in Game 6, and a Game 7 is anybody's.
Why not 7?
Because I think they're going to win the first 2. I think New York gets that Game 3 in New York, and then the Spurs have that get right Game 4, and then it's back home, and I think that's when they close it out. Even though it's going to look a little lopsided in the end, in my opinion, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be 5 close games that could have gone either way, but we'll see. That was my, and it's mostly just because I just don't trust the Spurs if it goes longer than that. So.
I mean, you just hear like the Spurs players talking about who's walking around their building this week. Like Manu's in the building, Duncan's in the building, David Robinson, Pop. They're just walking around with these guys and just like, oh yeah, we'd bump into them in the hallway, ask a question, they give us this full rundown. Like, well, who are the Knicks talking to? Patrick
That's
Ewing?
So funny. Like Charles Oakley,
Houston,
John.
So what'd you do when you lost to Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
What do you think about Did you go past to Ewing in that one play where Olajuwon kind of get that fingertip? Yeah, like what? I mean, maybe they're talking like Ben Stiller.
Like Wemby said when the plane landed, the first thing he did was like Pop was there. They met and they had a chat and got
the Spurs are going to be ready, man.
I think they're going to be extremely ready.
You talked about Dylan Harper. Like, I mean, his dad is Ron Harper, man.
Yeah, no
like,
shit, right?
Did you guys about Dylan Harper? His mom is crazy. They had to. She like in a good way.
Yeah,
like
I
in a
seen a
good
clip
way.
about it, but in a good, crazy in a good way.
Yeah, like they had to go see a sports psychiatrist because she kept yelling at him during his games. And it's like, hey, mom, you got to calm down here.
Calm
Like,
down.
you can't come to my events. She was banned for a while. Like,
That's crazy.
it's because of her why he's in the. It's not because of Ron Harper. Ron Harper had a 15-year NBA career. He wasn't there for his kids when he was young. They got divorced.
That's crazy.
No, I don't think
He's just calling out fathers.
Yeah.
This. Oh yeah, no.
Let's
well,
not call
I
Ron
think,
Harper
you
good.
know,
Like, don't give.
Well, I'm
don't
saying,
give-
I'm not saying
my
good
point is, don't
jab.
give Ron
He has-
Harper so much
yeah,
credit.
he's got somebody who's going to be like, hey, here's how
How dare
to
you
act
give
in
him
the
the
finals. Here's what the
basketball genes.
finals is like. That was more what I was talking about. I didn't know his dad wasn't at his games, man.
He wasn't there. All right.
He wasn't
trying to
there.
coach
Mom's
after
yelling
he
It
at
was
was
his
him.
playing
mom because she was
too.
getting banned.
We're getting banned. One last thing I meant to talk about this earlier in the pod, but are we? So to talk about OKC, circle back one time. Are we one torn Achilles away from this being one of the most underachieving teams ever?
You could say that, but you could
that-
also,
is that-
also, are you one bad quad strain or whatever J-Dub had away
Yeah.
from?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
From it being
So
a
I see
great
what you're saying. I think we are. To
You
answer
brought it
your
up. Yeah,
question.
I think we are right.
But the hypothetical that the other way, I think the Thunder then would have been back this year
Yeah.
and won it all. Yeah.
I think giving that excuse for the Thunder is letting Chet off the hook. I think we're.
I mean, yeah, Chet was still there. That's the
But
other
the
thing.
dude's
Yeah.
the dude was.
He's
If
all NBA.
Wemby, if
Yeah.
Wemby wasn't in that draft, this guy would have been considered, consensus number one, no question asked.
Well, Paulo got picked ahead of Chet.
Chet was the year
Chet
before, but it
was
was
the year before Wemby.
it was
Yeah, but
he
they
had
were in
the
the same
red
rookie
shirt
year.
year. Yeah,
But
same
they were
rookie
like
class.
both.
That's right.
I remember them because
But yeah,
Chet was mini haha falls and
Yeah.
Wemby in France. Everyone knew about them at the same time, and Chet was like is a generational player. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
this Wemby guy comes out to ruin everything. He was gonna who's the second best guy to Gretzky? He was probably pretty good too. Back
he's
in,
pretty
those
good
days.
too.
Yeah. I think giving him the injury hook is a little. It's a little easy way out for him.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was
I
bad
well,
in
I
that
think-
series
I think
altogether. He was great in the other series, right? 18 something points, and he was like 10 and a half or 12, whatever it was, in the series against the Spurs. Like that can't happen, right? Like
I think the thing is, you can't
you can't
there's
say
been a
you
lot of
can't-
stuff
yeah.
about trading Chet, which I think is insane. There's nobody better to trade for than to just have Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, no, that's I think maybe to go back to it, I actually think, my question was kind of tongue in cheek there, from this this failure of a thing, but I think a couple of things, like one, if Wemby doesn't win this year, I don't think it's like that he can't be the GOAT. I think he's very, very early.
Mhm.
And then I also think that those two teams in the West are going to be the two teams going forward. And maybe next year, OKC gets them.
Boo.
And maybe not. But I think there was, I
Another
think there is another team that maybe their window
Rebrand
might
coming.
have closed it.
Careful with the rebrand.
all
Give
I
the
can think
rebrand.
of is last time the Thunder came up a little bit short, they made a trade with the Bulls for a guy that helped them win a title. So if they're looking to dump a Chet
Right here, baby.
Oh, I see.
right here, we got second.
Wait,
we got
Noah
second round picks.
Senge?
We got second round picks for days.
We got Noah.
Wait, would you give up the
seconds.
fourth? You giving up the fourth for Chet?
No,
No.
Really?
no,
I'd
I'm
give
not.
up the fourth for Chet.
no. We're not there. If we were,
I like that, Chris. I like that.
Right
It's a
there.
bold move, but because Chet, it just increases your timeline. You get this. Wait,
It decreases it.
Yeah,
I'd
you
give
know.
up Buzelis for Chet. I'd put him
All
in there.
right, yeah.
I'd
Boozy,
put him in there.
sure. All right, yeah. Let's do that.
But like
Booze,
he's your old last piece.
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, he's your
I'd be fine with that.
best player.
Buzelis in picks and seconds.
Make it happen.
Buzelis in seconds. Who
Terrible.
says no? Terrible.
Let's go.
Put it in the trade machine. All right. Well, I think that's it for us tonight. It's going to be a fun series. We got Spurs in 6, Spurs in 5, and Knicks in 6. Is that what we said? Yeah. In the Garden, man. That would be fun though. I wouldn't mind that. It'll be nice to be.
I think it's the first one that we actually aren't in agreement on. I think the entire Every time we make picks, we're pretty
We
much
have
in
that like a
lockstep.
one team. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
It's the
maybe
first
Boston,
time.
Dallas. Did we have different? Were you guys kind of rooting?
Well, I'm
for
talking
Dallas?
about just this year.
This year.
Like
Oh,
each
okay.
round, I feel like we've been
I
pretty
think I
much.
had Hawks over Knicks. You guys were out on that one.
Yeah, okay.
That
Yeah,
was wild.
yeah. They made the finals. So.
I maybe had like
I had
Yeah,
Detroit all
anyways.
the way here too. So
Yeah. Well, that is it for us tonight. Follow us on social media at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. We very much appreciate that. TikTok too. So until next time, we'll be about 4 games deep in the finals, everyone. Or maybe not. We're gonna do a recap this week. Yeah, all right, never mind. Until next time, Box Out.